Hey gods and goddesses, June horoscopes, June 2025. Wow, we're here already. And it feels like I traveled through time just to make this video. Every time I make a horoscope video, it feels like time is moving faster than it actually needs to. But June is a time where we are experiencing or feels like a soft revolution. It's like it feels quiet on the surface, but there is a deep soul impact that we all will feel. It's a kind of month where everything shifts inward first, and like our hearts are opening. We have these emotional truths that arise. But I think that we are changing, what the definition of home is, of legacy, of ancestry, of women, of our lineage, of our paternal family. We are starting to really feel like we need to define or protect what matters, protecting our family, protecting our legacy, our roots. We are reconnecting with our roots, right? And this could be because we have a very, very great transit coming up, which is Jupiter. Well, in the month of June, Jupiter going into Cancer, and it's exalted in Cancer. If you haven't gone to watch a video on Jupiter in Cancer, I'm going to put the link down below, but definitely go check that transit out because this is a great time or a great year that we will be experiencing, but we will also be, Jupiter will be hitting a couple hard aspects to Saturn and also Neptune, and I put that in that other video as well. But besides that, you will feel called to protect what matters, to protect what's yours. It's like you're finally choosing, you're finally choosing emotional intelligence over survivor mode, right? You are finally choosing legacy over chaos, if that makes sense, or change over chaos, or understanding of truly your emotions and how to embody the self, or how to get in contact more with your legacy so that you can grow and that you can change. This really feels like a season of spiritual nesting, like divine remembrance. It's very slow, but there is a powerful rebirth that we all will feel. The world, it's not going to look different overnight, or your universe, your reality won't look different overnight, but you're going to change, and you will. And that's when the new era is going to begin for us, for the collective, and for you as well. It's like the collective is moving through this chaotic energy, but to clarity. It's like from fire to water, from noise to nourishment. This is really a spirit, or a time that the spirit speaks more than man, like man-made objects. It's really a time where we are listening to our intuition, the brain we were given before we knew how to speak, if that makes sense. It's like we are truly looking at the world differently and protecting what matters to us, which is our safety, which is our inner peace. That's first of all we are trying to create, but also our legacy and our lineage. Talk more about that. Put your lineage back on the map. We are magical beings, and we will experience that, especially mothers. Honor thy father, honor thy mother. Most importantly, honor thy mother. Nature, the place that you live is your sanctuary. Honoring your emotional intelligence is how you become better, how you grow, and how you find things in life, that make you feel stable, and you get out of scarcity mode and you get into thriving mode. This month I feel as though we see a clear image collectively, but also individually, also home, family life, of what scarcity actually means and how it was taught to us, and how we have to emotionally adjust those things, or have a clear understanding in order to adjust those things about our lineage, about ourselves, really nourishing ourselves back instead of listening to all the noise that we have heard in the past. This Jupiter and Cancer transit is going to be fantastic, but I'm going to talk about other things that are happening this month and give us a better breakdown of what's happening this month, right? So on June 1st, we're going to have Venus conjunct Chiron in Aries. And this is a feeling of healing through love, self-worth, beauty, creativity, healing the self, healing the image or identity, the way that you are approaching things. It's more, I don't want to say that it's more beautified, but when you can do things with an intent and action where you feel good about it, you are protecting what's good. So good things happen for you. When we do things in life, or actually when we're not even do things in life, because we're talking about Aries, we are initiating something beautiful in our life, and then we're adding in Venus. We want to do things with clarity. We want to have self-worth doing these things. And Chiron is the wounded healer. So we are healing the wounds that we have felt about ourselves, about our identity, and making them okay and doing them anyway. right? And so on June 6th, we're going to have Venus entering into Taurus. Venus in Taurus is in its home sign. So it feels good here. It feels, sensual. It feels valuable. It feels abundant. It feels stable in some type of way. And, that's always a good thing because, that means you're eating good food. You're experiencing good company, good people. Your finances are enhancing and things of that nature. And then on June 8th, we have Mercury conjuncting Jupiter in Gemini at the 29th degree. So the 29th degree is a very critical degree. So these can bring in massive ideas, massive truths, massive understandings. These are opportunities to communicate, to family members, to friends, to your local environment, but even to the media as well. These are when truth is like telling, like we are literally telling the truth. Like truth is where we need to start speaking it. Like truth is the only way to speak to another person. It's not about, gossip or anything like that. It's truly something that is massive, if that makes sense. Mercury is going to be entering into Cancer on June 8th, and this brings emotional intelligence, This brings emotional intelligence within the family dynamic. And also, I think this kind of brings like nostalgic thinking. Mercury in Cancer, Mercury being in Cancer is a water sign, but the next day we're going to have Jupiter going into Cancer. So that's like this spiritual exploration through home, through lineage, through safety, through these emotional nourishment. So I do think that these couple of days, June 8th and June 9th, there are ways to feel good about how you feel, but then we're going to have, squares and things of that nature. But that is the intent. The intent is to speak clearly to your family. Speak like you have something to say, which you will. Speak like you want to change, you want to change what's going on in your home. You want to change what's going on. You just want to change the thinking. You want to change the processing when it comes to like the things that can make us feel good, because the spaces of feeling good is when the good things can happen to us, especially within our stability, and Jupiter going into Cancer is making us feel good again, to believe, to have more optimistic within our lineage, within our home. That is really going to be good. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's going to be a great transit. And then we're going to have on June 11th, the full moon being in Sagittarius. Okay, so during that time, there is a combination of truth. June is really bringing up truth, whether it's harsh or not, but there are big ideas and big truths, whether it's a global vision, it could be travel. These are spiritual teachings that you can learn through life, of course, yes, but, you do learn through experience, and you learn through having having an open mind, looking at things from a broader level and understanding that you're free to change your mind and you're free to adjust to certain things. And also, on the 17th, we're going to have Mars going into Virgo. Mars in Virgo is very motivated. It's motivated, but it's very practical in that sense. I feel like the energy in Mars in Virgo is directed towards health, habits, service, spiritual understanding. It's really trying to help the next person, offer some type of healing in any type of way that it can. That's the best way that Mars operates in Virgo, getting things done through service. And then on the 21st, we're going to have the sun entering into Cancer. There's a lot of focus in Cancer, obviously. So that is more focus on like, the inner world, our inner life, our home, our family, our ancestry, emotional awareness. As I said, there's a lot of focus on emotional awareness this month. We're going to have the sun conjunct Jupiter in Cancer on the 24th, June 24th. And this promotes abundance, celebration, opportunity, because we are going into our familial realms. We are going into, I don't know what you believe, but I believe that our ancestry is God in some type of way. These are our teachings. These are things that will pass down through lineage and lineages, right? Whether these are blessings, whether these are shadows, curses, or whatever you like to call them, misdirected energy, we have a chance to connect with those that came before us, which is very beautiful because it gives us an opportunity to do something different in our life, which is what we are actually meant here to do. We're supposed to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Or not even to do something different, to upgrade our lineage in some type of way. Well, during this time. And then on June 25th, the new moon is going to be in Cancer. This is a new opportunity for you to connect with mothering, for you to connect with family intuition, for you to connect with your intuition, for you to connect with your security. How do you feel? This is new opportunity to buy a home where you actually feel like, you want to live, if that makes sense. And then on the 26th, we have Mercury going into Leo. Mercury and Leo, this is very expressive. This is creative words. There's passion in the communication. The inner child is playing. They are joking. They are laughing. They're trying to bring joy up in conversations, which is always a good thing. So, June to me is a month that really is thinking about self-worth, beauty, creativity, but trying to stabilize some type of abundance, right? Because we are born free. With the full moon being in Sagittarius, during this time, it is a time for you to let something go. There's a time for you to let an idea go that does not work for you. Jupiter going into Cancer, like I said, is going to be exalted. Please go ahead and watch that video because it means something different for all of us, but it is very, very powerful wherever it is transiting our chart because it's bringing us truth and optimism we didn't know we needed to add to our life in order to see a clearer picture, in order to understand that we were born free, abundant, and we should adjust to those type of teachings, whether we have to adjust to them in our homes, whether we have to adjust to them by changing our homes, by adjusting our homes, adjusting the way that we teach our children, teach our elders, respect your elders, respect your mother. I mean, you might want to go ahead and do that. Honor thy mother, honor thy father. Okay, that doesn't mean to put up with anything, but it means to understand that they had their own life experience. Live yours, become better, right? Hydrate the soul in some type of way. But anyways, let's get started. And we're going to start with Aries, of course. Okay, so Aries for June, you're going to have a lot of focus within your fourth house of home, and I just want to say, Aries, like home is your temple. Home is where the heart is. With Jupiter entering into your fourth house, this brings a lot of blessing into your living situation, your family roots, even getting a new home, expanding your home, moving abroad, moving your family abroad. The sun is going to be in there. The new moon, Mercury is going to follow in there. This is a reconnection for you. You are truly trying to nurture safety, or reconnect to your emotions. You are trying to nurture yourself. You're being asked to in some type of way. You're being asked to really find security within yourself because the fourth house is your stability. It's like your intelligence. It's like where you're supposed to be stable. You know what I'm saying? And it being in Cancer, you truly will feel a surge of bliss, but you want to nurture your safety. Try to use it for something. You know what I'm saying? Use it to buy a new home. Use it to connect with your family. Use it to teach deeper understandings to your family, Aries. On the 8th, you're going to have the full moon in the 9th house, right? The full moon in the 9th house in Sagittarius, this is going to bring clarity. Whether you are doing, publishing, the 9th house is a house of your highest self, education. This is a house of your spiritual let's just say your spiritual philosophies, if that makes sense, or like religion, or I like to say of the higher self. But this is where you truly try to understand life's experiences, and you're gonna have a full moon up there. It's gonna bring much needed clarity, but also you could have to travel, right? You could have to learn something. You could be taking a class, you could be dropping in class, but clarity is going to come. You could be publishing a book in some type of way, Aries. When Mars is entering into Virgo in your 6th house, obviously health routines, they come to the forefront. You have a lot of energy to make things precise. You have a lot of energy to put work or to put a lot of demand in your home, not in your home, but in your work life, in your day-to-day basis. You try to really incorporate spiritual practices that's going to get you to go to the next level. You're really trying to help, individuals when Mars is going to go into the 6th house. I actually love Mars in the 6th house. Like you actually have energy to do things on a day-to-day basis that you normally wouldn't have to do. It's really a precise energy in my type of like definition. And so we're going to have a Venus and Chiron conjunct in your first house, Aries. And wow, right? A surge of healing. You are healing these images, these wounds around your images. You're opening your heart to new possibilities about yourself. Like, how freaking beautiful can you emerge to be, Aries? You are a warrior. You are a pioneer. You need to start. You must begin. You must really begin your life. Take charge. I know Saturn is going to be in your sign. Saturn's going to be in your sign, teaching you patience, but truly, you are birthing a whole new definition of home. You are birthing a whole new definition of who you are, what it means to feel safe, what it means to begin to feel safe wherever you are, like wherever you live. You know, Jupiter, I feel like, is really going to bless your roots, but also going to bless your it's also going to bless your emotional body, making you feel more blissful about yourself, believing in yourself a little bit more, Aries, right? But you know, Saturn, like I said, is going to come in and start squaring Saturn in your sign, you know, teaching you that things will come when you put effort into yourself. You know, so like I said, you must have self-worth with Saturn, and Chiron being our sign for so long. We know that Chiron has been showing you these different wounds, but also making you a healer. You can heal yourself, Aries. You know what I'm saying? You don't stay down. You don't need to stay down. You get up and you keep going and you keep going, because you're the, I won't say you're the only one, but like, you're unstoppable, Aries, when you believe that you are unstoppable. You know? Okay, so that's all I have for you, Aries. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Aries. I'm going to move to Taurus. So Taurus, you're going to have a lot of focus within your third house. And let's just say that Jupiter is going into your third house, right? These are really big conversations. These are conversations about philosophy. I think that Jupiter in your third house would be great for you, because writing projects come into focus, your skills come into focus, maybe reconnecting with your siblings, your neighbors, you know, reconnecting with your voice, reconnecting with your truth. I think that Jupiter brings these lucky ideas, you know, even these talents you didn't even know you had, towards you. Like, I'm actually great at sewing. You know, I'm actually great at all of these things that I didn't think that I was great at. Like, your mind is actually a minefield. You know what I'm saying, Taurus? And I feel like with Mercury joining in there and the sun joining in there, you're getting a boost of this intuitive communication style. You're getting a boost of like this ancestral remembrance that you didn't know that you had, but it's just bringing to you, and I love it. So the full moon that's going to be happening in your 8th house in Sagittarius, I believe that this is bringing deep emotional truths to your financial situations, or maybe having you realize certain things about your financial situations, but something definitely comes to light. Some type of truth when the full moon is happening in your 8th house. This can be a lot of I won't say a lot of deep truth, but it's definitely something that changed your psychological perspective and has you digging deep, you know, a secret, something that just comes to light that you didn't notice before, but you notice now. Taurus, Mars is going to be transiting your natal 5th house. And wow, Mars in the 5th house. This is a romantic passion, right? In my opinion, a romantic passion. You are focused on your creativity. It's like you're going all in with pleasure. You're going all in with your art, you know, whether you're an artist, you're speaking, your inner child, your joy. 5th house is the house of joy. It's a house of pleasure. You know, it's a house of romance. You could really be taking charge with these things, you know. But I will say, with the 5th house being, with Mars going into the 5th house, definitely be careful that it doesn't go to, you know, it doesn't go from 0 to 100 really, really quick. Use Mars in the 5th house to tap into your pleasure, to tap into your artistry, to tap into your creativity, you know, even your entrepreneurship in some type of way, towards like, what can you really create, you know? And so Venus in your 5th house is going to be, Venus is going to be in your 5th house your 1st house after June 6th. And so Venus makes you, obviously Venus makes you look like a magnet. You know, it brings out this soft glow within you. You know, you're glowing brighter. You're looking better, you know, better than ever. It's like your skin is looking soft. You're looking nice, you know, Taurus, you know. And what I mean by this is like, you're starting to appreciate your beauty, and it's showing within the inside. Like, you're truly becoming irresistible. I think Venus in your sign, you know, and Jupiter, you know, going through going through cancer and things of that nature, gives you great ideas that are, it's just like this, unlocking beauty, unlocking your voice, unlocking your soul. And like people, they can't take their eyes off of you, and it's almost like you're a magnet. As I said, it's just your presence is magnetic, and that's always a good thing, because that means that you can attract the things that you want. Use it for the right reasons, Taurus. Okay. Because like I said, Jupiter focusing within your third house, all that focus within your third house is opening up your mind. I believe you open up your mind, you're opening up your soul, you're opening up your life. And that's all I have for you, Taurus. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, Taurus. And let's move to Gemini. So, Gemini. So, there is going to be a lot of focus for you, Gemini, in your second house. Mercury, the sun, the new moon, but Jupiter is going to be moving in your second house. I love this, right? It's like your values, your finances, your self-worth, they're receiving a massive upgrade from Jupiter. I mean, you haven't felt this within 12 years, Gemini. It's bringing you this unexpected income, this clarity around what you value, what you deserve, who you are, what you can obtain. You know what I'm saying? It's bringing this truth to your voice as well. You're speaking better about yourself. I would say you're not, Jupiter was just in your sign as well, right? You have wisdom upon your own identity, and it's now time for you to put that in value. You know what I'm saying? And really value what you say, value who you are, and value clarity. I just say value the clarity of I am who I am, and I love who I am, and this is who I'm going to be. So with the full moon happening in your 7th house, Gemini, this is a culmination or ending. This is some type of truth or big commitment, a really big commitment that comes with the full moon being in Sagittarius. You could get married. There can be truths that really shake up your perspective about the next person or about relationships in general, or some type of ending. Either way, I do think that it brings freedom. Like it brings freedom in some type of way. Like it is not a bad thing to lose, and I won't say lose because you're not losing, Gemini, but it isn't a bad thing to let go, if that makes sense. Or isn't a bad thing to expand, to grow, with the next person, to have a broader aspect and understand and try to understand what they understand and they understand what you understand, right? So when Mars is entering into your 4th house, Gemini, this is bringing tension, of course, to your home. Mars in the 4th house, because, Mars within the 4th house, it does well when it's creative, or when it's channeled towards your roots, or channeled towards uncovering, what's hidden, like the anger tendencies or any type of tendencies that make you want to like freaking bear arms, put knives against people. It's like these intense, severe emotions that really spark like violence, if that makes sense. It's better if you channel this energy to your roots, your ancestry. Figure out why. What am I so angry for? And it's not that you're, always going to be angry, Gemini, or anything like that. But when Mars turns into the 4th house, it brings a certain truth to us, or a certain understanding about our behavior. And we're like, okay, how can we not feel this sharp feeling to our heart? The 4th house is the house of, security. And it's definitely some tension there. And I say, channel this energy towards your lineage, towards your roots, understanding that perspective. Okay, so Jupiter is going to be in your Jupiter has been in your 1st house for a year. For a year, Gemini, right? For a very, very long time. Mercury is going to be in your sign as well after the 8th or June 8th, up until June 8th. And these are huge ideas that are coming, obviously, Jupiter in your sign, Gemini, has brought this brilliant self-presence or brilliant self-awareness. Say what you need to say. You know what I'm saying? And on the 8th, say it, pitch it, post it, do whatever you need to do in order to put yourself out there, put your image out there, trust and believe in your ideas, believe in the self, please, Gemini, please just believe in the self. It's like you're building a new empire of like value, of abundance, of being a magnet, and it's finally arrived. And when you're claiming your worth, right? That's why Jupiter is going to your 2nd house. What can you actually do? Do not play small this time, Gemini. Like, do not play small. I'm punching you through the phone. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Gemini. But seriously, do not play small when you're having Jupiter transiting your second house. Like, your values, your voice is very magnetic. You know what you're saying, you know what you're doing, and you will not be led astray. Your intuition will not lead you astray. Okay? And that's all I have for you, Gemini. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Gemini. Okay, moving to Cancer. So, hi, Cancer. Cancer. Whoa, 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 Cancer. I'm snapping for you because Jupiter is finally going into your sign. Oh, finally, Cancers are about to experience a lot of bliss. I mean, your confidence, your identity, your magic. Like, you're magical. These new opportunities of leadership are finding you, are coming to you. Like, it's no way they can't find you, Cancer. Put your hand up. You are no longer having to hide who you are. You're no longer having to stress. You can be as vulnerable and emotional and as sensitive as possible, and luxury and legacy will still find you. But you have to put your hand up. You have to put your hand in the pot, okay? Because this is your season of reinvention, Cancer. You're going to have Jupiter in your sign, Mercury in your sign, the sun in your sign, new moon all in your first house. This is your confidence, your identity, who you're evolving to be. Please use your magic. You know what I'm saying? New opportunities are coming to you. With the full moon being in the sixth house, there is a reveal of certain day-to-day tasks, even health, exercises that you do or not, no exercise, or if you don't exercise, anything that you haven't done is definitely being revealed, like what is no longer working, because the six houses are day-to-day tasks and activity. So whatever it needs to, change must change. Jupiter is definitely going to give you the wisdom to go ahead and do that. But truly, it's like you're changing what no longer works. Even if this means a job, you're building a legacy now, Cancer, and it takes time, right? But also, it's not impossible. So that's why I said put up your hand, Cancer. Put up your hand, Cancer, because the more that you build up your confidence, the more that you can have in this world, right? Okay. Mars is going to be transiting through your third house, Cancer. And this is a lot. Mental energy is going to skyrocket. It's going to be I would say definitely be mindful, because you can have stress with arguments with your siblings, with your local community, and stress can arise in some type of way. But definitely use this mental energy to understand what you're thinking about, on a day-to-day basis, or what are you even arguing about. Definitely bring awareness to the word that you're using, what you're saying, what makes you angry, what is your mind on, Cancer. Okay, and then we're gonna have a Venus in Chiron conjunction in your 10th house. And okay, like, Cancer, like, listen, the new you is freaking unstoppable. Jupiter is going in your sign. This is the beginning of a 12-year growth cycle. If you're not thinking legendary, I'm going to come through the phone and get you, Cancer. Seriously, just like I was going to get Gemini. Like, you literally need to think of yourself as someone who is deserving, who is understanding, Cancer. You have the intuition of us all. Please use it and think legendary. You're having a conjunction, a healing aspect within your 10th house of career, of legacy, of power in some type of way, of our what is this word, of authority, right? And there's this softness, this power that comes to you by being vulnerable. You finally can channel who you actually are, Cancer, put it into something that means something, that is legendary. But that's only if you have your hand up and right, Cancer. But I just really want to say, like, literally, the new you is unstoppable if you make it into being. And I'm not saying that it is not going to come without its challenges. I'm saying that you are lit up and you are magical, and you need to use your magic for things that are going to promote growth. Okay? Think long term, think legacy, think I am the best, Cancer, because you are, and you're going to start to see, damn, Cancer, like, if not me, then what? Right? Cancer, okay, that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Cancer. Alrighty, Leo. So, Leo, okay, so we have a couple things going on for you this month, and let's just say that your 12th house is activated with Jupiter, right? This is very deep, Leo. Jupiter, the sun, the can't get it out. The new moon, you have Mercury, all in your 12th house, of the unseen, of these spiritual aspects of life, of the unseen realms, things that are hidden to us. This is the 12th house. And Jupiter here, this is a secret because this is also Jupiter's house as well. So there is this spiritual blessing, that comes with this aspect. It's very deep, Leo, because you are expanding intuitively, but also you're having these dreams, you're having dream wisdom, you're having healing through being by yourself, solitude. You could really want to spend a lot of time alone, Leo, just trying to understand like your emotional foundation. I think that the new moon, in the new moon, all of these, different planets or luminaries are transiting through the 12th house. You are building a new emotional foundation, but one that is like linked to your intuition, right? You have a deeper understanding of what the unseen world is actually saying, like 555, what does it actually mean, Leo? Please go look it up. You have a more like, okay, I know what this means now. This means change, I know what this means now. It's like you having a better understanding, and I love that for you, Leo. And then also the full moon is going to be in your 5th house in Sagittarius. This brings a focus to your romances. Your romances can reach a climax. It's like you're shining in your art, in your love life, in your creativity. You could be going somewhere with someone. They can invite you somewhere that's beautiful, that's fun, that's joyful, but there can be a letting go, a combination, or there can be something fun that you just experience that, really brings joy to the house. It definitely depends on the aspects, what's going on in the 5th house. But usually you're shining, in your artistry. If you are, a creative person, if you do creative things, or within your life, your love life, it can be taken to the next level, taken a little bit more seriously. The philosophy could change too. You could be more spontaneous in some type of way, Leo. And Mars is going to be transiting through your 2nd house. This is a push for you to earn money and like earn it fast. Do it fast. I must reach abundant fast. Money is just very important, not to you, but when Mars is in the 2nd house, right? And value is very important. Morals is very important, Leo. And you are being smart. We're not being reckless because Mars in the 2nd house can be very reckless. You're not being reckless. You're being smart. You're spending on things that actually matter, and you're spending on things that's gonna help you earn, if that makes sense. Okay, I think that you should push to earn more money, maybe getting involved to things that involve, financial freedom, the things that involve your own skill set, your mindset, even learning a little bit more about how to like financial, security, how to, make more money, even if it's online, just making more abundance. I think that Mars's energy will do well when you are using it to research how to do it, if that makes sense. Okay. And then Mars entering into, Mercury is entering into Leo within this is your 1st house. That's all going to be on June 26th. Obviously, your voice is returning very strong. Your voice is being heard. You are finally, well, I don't say finally, but you are prepared now, Leo, to speak from the heart. I think that spending time alone, spending time in introspection and really spending time behind the scenes gets you to promote this authentic inner voice. Not that you don't have an authentic inner voice, but with Jupiter now entering into there is this inner wisdom that must be heard, by you, must be heard to others, and you must speak this, Leo, in some type of way. Finally, you can shine your light. Finally, it's not, I won't say finally, obviously this is what, Leo risings naturally do, is spread their light because they have a lot of light to shine. But with Jupiter in your 12th house, you are shining light and wisdom upon others and using it to promote healing within yourself and the next person. And I think just be prepared, Leo, to speak from the heart. It's like your private magic is preparing you for public greatness. It's like rest is definitely sacred. Spending time alone, solitary is definitely sacred. But by July, by your solar return, by August, like you rise in voice, you rise in action, you're rising. And I love that for you, Leo. So yeah, Leo, that's all I have. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Leo. So let's move to Virgo. Hey, Virgo. Virgo, your 11th house is getting activated by Cancer, by Jupiter, by the new moon, Mercury. And this is your community zone, right? These are groups these are groups, this is collective consciousness. This is the house of your long-term dreams, wishes. And I think it's bringing aligned friends and audiences and dreams to light. Excuse me, Virgo. The sun and Mercury is gonna, even the new moon here, it definitely helps you embark on a new start on how you want to show up in these spaces, whether it's digital, whether it's actualized, whether it's in groups, whether it's in your community, how are you going to show up, Virgo? I think that that's going to be changing for you, and it's going to, I won't say changing, but it marks a fresh new idea, a fresh new way to look at it, creative consciousness and things of that nature. Even your dreams, may adjust in some type of way. So the full moon in your 4th house, this is going to bring finally, well, not finally, this reaches a truth for you, Virgo, a closure point about your family, about your home, a home matter, whether it's, you are looking for a home abroad and you finally get information from it, whether you have been facing the same emotional challenges and you finally understand why. This is a truth that must be heard and that must be had, but it definitely brings closure to you, Virgo. When Mars is entering your sign, it's going to be in your 1st house. Wow, you're on fire. You are really trying to serve. You are recharged. You're bold. You are trying to serve wisely. You are really focused when Mars is in your 1st house. You're focused on your health. You're focused on your wealth, your abundance, how to help other people. This is a really precise energy for you, where you want to, I won't say perfect things, but you want to get things right, Virgo. And I think that you will focus a lot on getting things right. With Venus and this Chiron conjunction in your 8th house, this is an aspect of like healing. All right, this is like releasing these financial entanglements. This is coming to terms with any type of psychological damages that you may have had, but it's bringing this good closure, I want to say, to you, Virgo, because you have awareness of things that have hurt you in the past, trauma, abuse, sexual abuse, of all of these things. But it's like, it made you who you are, and you don't have to actually be entangled into it, right? You can heal intimacy to the next person, to have a better relationship with other people, to share with other people in some type of way. Okay. And I think that you are calling Virgo, you're calling in like a soul aligned tribe. You're calling in building like building a future with them. You want to build a future with leadership, especially online, Virgo, especially online. You really want to have some type of togetherness. It's like June is a lighthouse, or like a greenhouse for leadership, or a greenhouse for you to show that you are a leader, to show up online, to really build a future with other people. This is something that you really, really want to do. And I think that you should actually take the first step to do it, especially with all the focus in your 11th house. Get on the media, start seeing things that are truthful. Start saying things, yes, that are truthful, that are bold, but also say things that are healing, that are inspiring, that are uplifting, that can really help the next person. I don't doubt that, Virgo. You do want to be that helping hand, but make sure you help yourself first. When Mars is in your sign, get your butt in the gym. When Mars is in your sign, do some type of physical activity. When Mars is in your sign, take some type of class, whether it's energy healing or things of that nature, or whether going to a retreat. Do something for yourself, Virgo. That way you can offer the best type of hand to someone else who actually needs it. I've met a lot of Virgos in my life, and everything they have said to me is very, very healing. It sparks some type of new direction in my life. Having a Virgo rising in your life, or even experiencing any type of Virgo sun, moon, or rising, you have no idea the type of help they actually want to give you. They want to actually help you. But now Virgo rising, I realize not with South Node in your sign as well, not at the expense of me, not at the expense of my health, my wealth, and my peace. So yeah, Virgo, hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, Virgo. Libra. Hey, Libra. So, Libra, the 10th house is being activated for Cancer. We have Jupiter entering into your sign, Jupiter entering into your 10th house. This is your career house. This is your house of purpose, authority. And there is this massive growth in your purpose, your direction, your status, your visibility in some type of way, Libra. Because this is house of career, wherever you're headed, like your life path. This is the start of this 12-year professional glow up. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's because a new moon can mean like a new title, going after something new. The sun here is like, having the sun in the 10th house is actually one of the best placements in my opinion, because this is the boss. This is like, because the sun is the career, it's the vitality, right? And so you're putting it in the 10th house. You're promoting a professional level up. You are promoting a new life, a new title. But the sun here is like, you have confidence to do it, Libra, right? You're shining bright, like you have everything that you need, Libra. And if you doubt yourself, you shouldn't, because you're done holding back your voice, especially with the full moon and Sagittarius happening in your third house. You are done hiding your voice. You're done holding back your voice. You're done hiding. Start speaking up, Libra. You have so much wisdom, especially when the South Node was in your sign. It left your sign, obviously, but it was in your sign. K2 in your sign means you a lot of wisdom, sometimes it comes through these karmatic tests, but you learn, you live and you learn. It's time for you to share your truth, Libra. I'm not playing with you. I'm serious. Please do. Mars is going to be in your 12th house. Okay, Mars in the 12th house. Obviously, the 12th house is our inward, it's our inner unseen world. We are fighting demons, we're fighting our shadows behind these doors. And for you, Libra, obviously, it is. Everything is pointing inward for you. Like, rest, but dream big, right? Rest. Do not burn yourself out, because, as I said, Libra, you're having so much focus on the 10th house. It's you're going towards the right way, but you want to make sure that you rest. You want to make sure that you understand to love. Like, you want to make sure you understand that love is the highest frequency, not fear, right? So if you have to face shadows, if you have to do things that, you like, that take away the confidence that you should have, you have to do it. You've learned a lot of spiritual practices with with K2 that was just in your sign, okay? And so we have Venus and Chiron conjunction within your 7th house. So obviously, this is the house of the 7th is our house of partnerships. This is a reawakening in partnerships, reawakening love, understanding that love actually heals the heart, and we can always love again, Libra. Many people have broken our hearts, but it's like, it's time to turn over a new leaf, because Libras are still freaking beautiful. Libras are still beautiful on the inside. They have learned so much, and they have experienced a lot of karma, if that makes sense. And now that the karma is clearing away, you have to understand that love actually can heal your heart again. You can love again. Other people can love you again. But it's letting go of things that have happened in the past, so that you can receive the love that is truly meant for you. And I think that Libras need to choose who they love, and not you need to see by actions, of course, right? If they love you, they're going to show you that they love you, and vice versa. But also, like, don't just love someone because they love you, Libra, if that makes sense, okay? And so I think that with so much focus in the 10th house, Libra, there are a lot of career miracles arrive. Jupiter, oh my God, Jupiter is bringing in, like, stop playing small. You're made for legacy. You're made for more, Libra. Can you please open up your mouth? Can you please open up your mouth a little bit, Libra? We want to hear what you have to say. Get online. You know what I'm saying? Because full moon in 3rd house, like, share your truth, or really increase your skills. If you are unsure of your skills, Libra, please keep increasing your skills and increase your voice. But truly, please, you're becoming a boss in some type of way. You're loving it up, and I don't want to see you playing small anymore, Libra. I want to see you speaking your truth, because you are made for legacy. You're made for more, and it's going to happen if you say it's going to happen, Libra. Alrighty, that's all I have for you, Libra. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Libra. Okay, Libra. Okay, so Scorpio. Scorpio, you're going to have a lot of focus within your ninth house. Jupiter is going into Cancer, which is another water sign, just like you. Yay! So Jupiter here is going to expand your mind, your legacy, your higher self. Hello, higher self. Nice to meet ya. You're literally meeting your higher self, your higher wisdom, your higher knowledge, your higher philosophies of life. You're meeting your higher mind. Nice to meet you. Literally, because you are having more faith in yourself, more faith in your philosophy. You can travel, you can teach, you can publish a book. You could be really diving in and deep into your spiritual attributes, like diving in deep into your spiritual gifts, your spiritual abilities. With the new moon there as well, I do think that you might look at a fresh new perspective when it comes to, belief system, whether it is believing in your higher self a bit more, believing in your higher mind a bit more, getting away from religion, thinking more about religion, studying religion. There's a lot of things that you can be doing, Scorpio. But with Jupiter being in his natural home, like what? Like not even what, but like wow, you are coming into a lot of wisdom, a lot of ancestry wisdom. You will not be the same or think the same or honestly look the same, have the same mind. Like at the end of these 12 months, a lot of Scorpio risings will apply a lot of knowledge and change their whole freaking life just by, studying their own ancestors, studying their lineage, studying their grandmother, studying their life, really go back before you were born, to the mother, to the grandmother. Please, Scorpio, you will find a lot of things, that you didn't know, but that literally is like equivalent to your higher mind. You do know, but it's like you believing it, you adjusting, maybe switching something so that you can have more optimism. And you're going to be having the full moon in the second house. Okay, so full moon in the second house, this may be like a financial chapter that ends, maybe a self-worth chapter that ends as well. It's like you're ready for more, Scorpio. Enough with this self-worth, not even issues, but enough questioning your self-worth. It's time for you really to embody freedom, embody how you look. The second house is a house of our face, so embodying how you look. You are free to be and look and dress and do and have your own freaking style, Scorpio. You're ready for more. With Mars going into your 11th house, you are leading your community in some type of way. Mars in the 11th house, I do think you're going after your dreams. But you're in groups. You could be online, you could be on social media, but you're building something with others, if that makes sense. Scorpio, that is meaningful for you, and that's meaningful for the collective, and that can take your dreams and goals into the next level. With Venus and Chiron conjuncting in your 6th house, you are healing any type of wounds that have to do with your work. Enough talking about the same people at work. Oh, even if you have to heal body wounds as well, your image when it comes to how you look, how your body is, any type of shame that you try to hold within your body, no more, Scorpio. It's no more. We are dropping the perfectionism patterns. Like, we don't have to look perfect. We have to look perfect enough for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We have to look good enough for ourselves, our image, the way that we look, because obviously Aries is the self, it's the identity. So accept your vitality, make it better, change the way that you eat, change the way that you talk to yourself and address yourself, because you don't, like I said, have to be perfect. There are many people out there that will find you, but you have to love yourself first, and you have to get rid of the shame, because hey, we all have something that we are shameful about. But for you, Scorpio, you can dive in so deep to understand that even shame, guilt, and all of the low vibrational energies are very temporary. We don't have to stay there. We can fix it up, fix it up, become better, and listen, and rise again like the phoenix, right? And so I think that for you, Scorpio, a new destiny or a new spiritual destiny is definitely opening. Obviously, you are becoming your own guru, and people are gonna fucking listen. Like, excuse me, I'm cursing. But Scorpio, like, people are going to listen now. You're not so dark and deep. Like, you're not this problem, if that makes sense. Not that you were a problem before, but you know, people don't want to talk about the deep shit that Scorpio actually wants to talk about, bringing light to things that people like to keep hidden. Like, why are you hiding this? You know, Scorpio's like, stop hiding the truth. Like, stop it. We know the truth. And now people are listening to you because you are becoming your own guru. You are living by this truth. There's no more to hold on to. There's no more to be shameful about, right, Scorpio? And so that's all I have. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Scorpio. So moving to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, Jupiter is moving signs, right? So you're going to have a lot of, but Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, right? So that's great. So for you, Sagittarius, Jupiter is moving into Cancer, which is your 8th house, right? This is deep healing work. This is deep shadow work. This is deep breakthroughs when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to debt, you know, when it comes to clearing these financial entanglements. I think that Jupiter is actually going to help, here, clear a lot of trauma, you know, even offering like this emotional expansion, even offering these emotional, you might have like some emotional outbursts, but there are, how do you say that? There are like, you can find the cause of it, if that makes sense. You could dive in deep and really see the psychological pattern that you have that makes you think that or makes you feel that. And this can go back, you know, to your childhood. It could go back to what you have learned, what you have felt, you know, in your childhood, even go back 12 years to something you have learned, Sagittarius, you know, a traumatic experience in some type of way. But with this transit, as I said, going through your 8th house, Jupiter is helping you clear away a lot of stuff, a lot of debt, you know, a lot of debt, even karmic debt, mental debt. You know, it's just like, it's time to clean it up, and it's really time to focus on your shadow work. And deep healing will definitely be had for you, Sagittarius, which is a great thing because Jupiter is your ruler. Not without wisdom, right? And so we're going to have a full moon in your sign in June. And the full moon is going to obviously be in your 1st house. And you are now speaking your own truth. Not that you weren't before, but this is your own evolution, your own revolution. And I think that a lot of powerful release comes with you, your identity, your vitality, who you are as a person. You know, you're releasing a lot of things that you've held, that you believe that is not, I won't say that it's not working, but that can free you and push you into a different direction that actually promotes true freedom, true optimism. And, you know, obviously Jupiter moving signs is going to experience a little bit of squares. So, you know, you can feel hard aspects, you know, when Jupiter is moving. But I do think that for you, Sagittarius, it's almost like you're optimistic, but then shadow work. Optimistic, then shadow work. And as time goes on, you'll start to see that it's not a bad thing to face your shadow. It's actually a good thing. It's helping you grow. It's positioning you for a different type of position in life. Okay? And then Mars is going to be in your 10th house. Okay, so Mars is going forward, Sagittarius, in their 10th house. It's like, do not be afraid to go after that position. Do not be afraid to be seen. Do not be afraid to do anything not do anything, but obviously like take your life in a different direction, Sagittarius. Don't be afraid to go into the direction that you see fit, because I do think that with Mars up there, it is exhilarating. I don't even know if that's the word, but pushing forward, like the word that makes it fast. You know, you go fast in your career, like you're making decisions very fast. I'm like, what is that word? But you are making decisions about your career, and like I said, it is okay to change your mind, and it is okay to apply for the position and go after the position. Sagittarius. Okay, so in your 5th house, you're going to have a Venus and Chiron conjunction in Aries. And this is healing old wounds in love, healing old wounds in creativity, you know, with children, with romance. I think that romances might actually resurface, you know, with this conjunction with Venus and Chiron. I do think that it's time for you to work through the wounds that you have with joy, that you have with romances. But also, I do think that it gets smooth once you're willing to work with them and find more joy within yourself and your inner child and your creativity. You know, it's kind of, I won't say that, I say that it's a beautiful thing to find yourself again, Sagittarius. Of course, find that inner voice again, figure out what you like again, what you're interested in, what brings you fun and joy, and like what is really entertaining for you. But it's also a very, very like eye-opening thing. It's like, I want to experience joy, but I have to experience joy by addressing the fact that, I've been hurt in the past or something like that, Sagittarius, and just, learning how to be hurt and live with it and find beauty in yourself again, because those people that told you that you should not have self-worth do not have self-worth, because fifth house is the house of self-worth. This is healing your self-worth. You're feeling good about yourself. A lot of people project on us sometimes, Sagittarius, and it's not up to us to hold on to the things that they said and the things that they believe, because it isn't always like applying to us and you know what I'm saying, it's not always applying to us, right? So yeah. So, for you, Sagittarius, I definitely feel like you're shedding old skin. You are finding where your power lies, finding where you can feel safe again, where you can feel brave enough to feel safe again, Sagittarius, or releasing what makes you not feel brave or makes you not be able to really be as free as you should be, be as free or think as freely as you should be, right? With the full moon being your sign, as I said, it's a powerful shift, but also an identity shift in some type of way where you're freeing a part of yourself. Freaking finally, like, can we be free, Sagittarius? That's all I have for you, Sagittarius. Hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Sagittarius. So Capricorn, 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 Capricorn. Your seventh house is getting activated. Who are you attracting, Capricorn? Major, major relationship growth, Capricorn. Finally, you are bringing in commitment. You are bringing in expansion. You are bringing in these divine mirrors through love, through collaboration. With a new moon happening in Cancer as well with this month, you are starting a whole new relationship cycle. The seventh house is a house of exes and things of that nature. With Jupiter coming in, you have learned from the past. You're not going back there. Jupiter is bringing in these blissful people who actually want to help. And I don't mean by help, but they want to cater. They want to nurture. They actually have the Cancerian qualities. Whoever is coming into your life to marry you, they are actually healing the aspects of that you've hurt, that have hurt from not getting it from your parent, your motherly figure, Capricorn, if that makes sense. They are bringing you this motherly figure, but not the ones that's like, like gonna coddle you, but the one that's gonna rub your back and tell you that, hey, everything is okay. And we all need that type of partnership. In Capricorn, you are attracting major partners during this time, and I love that for you. Okay, be very mindful, use your wisdom, but remain optimistic, because yeah, it's gonna happen. You're meeting someone beautiful. I love that for you, Capricorn. Alrighty. Or that's going to teach you a lot, that has a lot of wisdom, that's really going to open up your mind, even someone who holds you when you cry, and all types of beautiful things that we need, from our partner. And, okay, so the full moon in the 12th house, you're going to have a full moon in 12th house. I think that an emotional or even a addiction ends, or some type of pattern, a secret definitely ends or comes to light, and healing is happening in your dreams, or you are releasing something through your dreams. I'm not sure if you believe in like Capricorn, like lucid dreaming, and things of that nature. Like when you're doing things in your dream, and you're also doing them in the physical realm, that can be like astral projection, and it can be like the Akashic records and things of that nature. But I do think that you are finding release, or you're finding some type of healing, whether it's going to the temple of healing, Capricorn, if you believe that as well. Okay, so Mars in the 9th house. Mars in the 9th house. Wow. Mars in the 9th house, travel. I think you can be traveling. I think that your academics, your education, they really come into pursuit. Even debates can spark, like debates can spark when it comes to like the clashing of ideas, or the clashing of just talking about religion. Like, Capricorn, please don't talk about, the sore subjects of what people actually believe in, it's just funny, tell people just to believe themselves, believe in their higher self, but definitely pick your battles, Capricorn, because not everyone is worth fighting. Even, when it comes to their belief systems, we all have different belief systems. But I always say, if you can't believe in anything outside of yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, I don't know how you can believe in something outside of yourself. That's just me though, Capricorn. But you tell them how it is. But definitely pick your battles though. It's really not going to be, that it's going to be fired up, but I don't think that it's actually going to be that serious. Like, you don't have to fight. You don't have to physically fight for an idea. It's already proven. All you have to do is really experience life and come to your own type of understanding about your belief, Capricorn, right? And so just allow other people to do that. So Venus in Chiron is going to be conjuncting in your fourth house. Wow. As I said, Capricorn, you are healing these family wounds, these inner child emotions, any type of emotions that come from your mother, that come from your family. You're finally healing, not feeling good enough, not feeling like you're a part of the family, feeling like you're the black sheep of the family, or feeling like because of the things that you have done within your childhood or done in previous, times, you know, like can be used against you. Like, people, sometimes people use things against Capricorn that has happened within their younger life, and it shouldn't have happened, but you want to heal those wounds within yourself, Capricorn. The right person, I definitely feel like, will come and change everything. Capricorn, like Jupiter in your relationship zone, is gonna bring love and some type of alliance that you didn't know you needed. I'm telling you, you didn't know you need that hug. You didn't know that you need that person to really tell you, hey, I'm here for you, even if they're not there for you, Capricorn. But you do need that, and I do think that that changes everything. It changes perspectives, like it changes life, it changes experiences. It could be a really blissful thing, but a very eye-opening thing as well. To you see yourself very clearly, you see other people clearly, the world opens up, right, Capricorn? And so that's all I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Capricorn. Aquarius. So Aquarius, your sixth house is getting activated by Cancer, and Jupiter going into your sixth house. Also, the new moon going into your sixth house. I think it brings, well, I know it brings blessings to your health, your work, your day-to-day tasks, your habits. This is a great time to launch a new type of fitness routine within 1 year. Wow. You're going to be looking much, much different, using wisdom behind what we do. Like when we put in practices like our self-care routines, we are, saying our affirmations, or we are, I guess the Cancer, excuse me, we are doing our affirmations. Or if you're just like going to a women's retreat every day, or you're going to a women's, gathering, and you're speaking your mind, this is going to improve your lifestyle. Like, and it's going to improve your intuition. You're going to flow a little bit more better. Whether you need to apply for a new job, that can be great. This can be a great time as well to apply for new work. Maybe apply for work with women, Aquarius. Apply to improve your lifestyle, and your lifestyle will be improved like full force. It will be improved if you use the energy to improve your life. Put in a new regimen that makes sense to you, but that is promoting to your womb, especially if you're a woman, or if you're not a woman, Aquarius. Spend time around women. They can teach you so much. They probably want to offer you so much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Women are walking holy, like women are walking like holy scriptures, if that makes sense. They have the words of the divine. They have the words of wisdom. They can speak life into you, truly. And maybe you want to spend some time with them, Aquarius. Maybe they got something that you need and you didn't know you needed it, right? And the full moon happening in your 11th house. 11th house is a house of you. So this is the house of friendship, right? There can be a community affiliation that just ends, right? You can end some type of, group setting or some type of thing. Maybe you can graduate or some type of thing. Like, it's just some type of ending. Not that it has to be harsh, but because it's in Sagittarius, it can be like you are extracting the wisdom from it. You're traveling to end it, or something just ends, not abruptly, like I said, but it can be something where like I said, someone moves away, or someone is in a different place, or you change your idea or something like that. But it doesn't have to be drastic, especially when it's in Sagittarius, right? We are literally changing our perspective, but our whole life does change, Aquarius. So I do want to throw that in there, right? And Mars in your eighth house. Be mindful of any type of shared resources that you have with the next person. I think that your intimacy can be triggered in some type of way, Aquarius is. Maybe some debts in some type of way can be, you could be focused on them, right? How do you slice through them? Because Mars is ruling over nines, but there could be some triggers, I will say, with Mars in the eighth house, but nothing that you can't handle. I will say, because um, Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio, and the eighth house is in Scorpio. But as I said, you want to use it to, you want to use Mars's energy in the eighth house to think about your resources, your finances, your emotional patterns. And I say your emotional patterns, but really I mean your psychological patterns, your mind formulas. What are you like? What is making you angry enough to, like, not feel close to the next person? What type of trust issues are you having that you cannot be closer to the next person? And honestly, afford you not to, like, it makes you not be closer to yourself. Okay. And then you're going to have Venus and Chiron conjuncting your third house. Wow. Aquarius, you're healing your voice. This is healing the voice, healing the relationship with your siblings, healing some type of writing. I won't say healing some type of writing, but it is like feeling okay to write, feeling okay to express yourself, feeling okay to teach, like you're golden, Aquarius. The things you've been saying, like I said, because I don't know if you love Kid Cudi, but I do. And Kid Cudi is an Aquarius, and he's been saying a lot of things from like 10, 15 years ago that people are saying now. And it's the same for you as Aquarius rising. You have been saying a lot of things that are future based, that are prophecy based. But now it's like these are golden like ideas that you have, and you have to trust in them, and you have to say them. And even if it comes to, like, the third house is also siblings. So even if it comes to saying things to siblings and things of that nature, having healing conversation with friends, communities, these are things that can happen, but that promote change. And I think it's a good thing for you, because I feel like you're rewriting your daily rhythm. You are rewriting your wellness, your worth. Your rituals are being more heart-centered. They're being upgraded in some type of way, Aquarius, because your voice is changing. You are now wanting to find flow, wanting to find intuition. And I think that with Jupiter, well, your sixth house being activated, your wellness and your work are becoming a ritual. And you're starting to see, okay, I'm not going to do the same thing every single day, but I'm going to incorporate things that are really heart-centered and, are really getting me to upgrade, right, Aquarius? And so that's all I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Aquarius. Hey, Pisces. So Pisces, the fifth house is being activated, right? The fifth house is going to be in Cancer, and Jupiter is going to be in the fifth house. Jupiter loves the fifth house because Jupiter is the planet of Dharma, just as the ninth house, and the planet of the house of Dharma is also the fifth house as well. So Jupiter does well in the fifth, is what I'm saying. So hey, it's time to play. It's time to really explore. Jupiter here is going to bring up romances. It's going to bring up creativity, joy, children, even fertility. Okay, for you Pisces, you can get pregnant during this time. You can fall in love again. Because we're having a new moon in there. We're having Mercury in the fifth house as well. You are experiencing, even the sun, you are experiencing a new start. Maybe it comes, not a new start. This is a perfect moment for a new start, a new project, a new art project, a new romance, a new creativity. Please spark some type of entrepreneurship if you have any areas like of your life that have to do with the fifth house, children, joy, inner esteem, expression, projects, arts, crafts, entertainment. You are really falling in love with that again, or falling in love with that part of your life again. And that is where you will grow a lot, because you're going to expand in this area of your life. And please create something, Pisces, from home. Create something that is long lasting, or you feel like maybe would be a legacy, but have optimism about it. Be very optimistic about your intuition. Your intuition is leading you somewhere, right? Pisces. So the full moon in your 10th house, something is going to complete within your career. Something is going to come to light about your public identity, about your direction in life to you and to others. Like your career, your life path is putting into focus, right? Full moons always bring a certain combination, but they do bring a truth and a revelation, about your life path in some type of way. Mars is going to be in your 7th house in Virgo. Okay, Pisces, leave that man alone. Leave that woman alone, because you don't have to fight with them. Mars in Virgo, there's a lot of passion. There's even a lot of tension sometimes when we're talking about relationships or Mars being in the 7th house. Mars has to do with knives as well. Learning to co-lead, learning to coexist. I don't want to say coexist, but share magic and power, if that makes sense, right? Like, because Mars is our passion, our drive. Like, share it with the next person, Pisces. Please do, especially if you are in relationships, right? Okay, and then we're going to have the Venus and Chiron in your 2nd house conjunction in Aries. And Chiron has been in the 2nd house for a really long time, and now that is conjuncting Venus. This is healing. You're healing your wounds to abundance, to monies, to self-worth, to knowing your worth, to knowing your value. Ask for more, Pisces. You've been more. You just have not been asking the right questions. But I think that your heart is truly your superpower, Pisces. You being vulnerable and Jupiter changing signs, and because you're ruled by Jupiter as well, it's teaching you how to love bigger, how to be bigger, how to create louder, create more, create. Like, Jupiter in the 5th house is just gold, because you're creative, you're really creating, you're louder. Like, your creativity is speaking louder than your words, Create, Pisces. I just really want to say that, and really know your worth. And if you are not understanding your worth, Pisces, it's going to be very difficult for you to truly see where the universe is sending you or setting you up to be. And it's setting you up to understand that your heart is the superpower. Your I won't say that your vulnerability is a superpower, but I will say that your you are your superpower, Pisces. Like, you hold the freaking power. You hold the magic. Stop waving the wand everywhere else and wave the wand at yourself. Okay, Pisces, that's all I have. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Pisces. Okay, well, that's all that I have for the month of June. I hope that was helpful for everyone. If you are new to my channel, I am Fairy Goddess Cody, and June is going to be a month of goodness and greatness. It's going to be a month of being optimistic, but also having to put in the work, being patient, but also like seeing life right before our eyes, seeing the bliss and happiness within our hearts, seeing the vision. Maybe it's not as clear as, maybe it isn't as concrete as it will be in the next year, but it's definitely concrete, and you must believe in yourself. And I think that collectively we must start believing in our own ability to create happiness, on our own ability to adjust to our own missions and things of that nature. So yes, I think that June is actually bringing us a welcome. It's bringing us a welcome to your own life. Welcome to your new life, buddy, right? And so yeah, that's all I have for everyone. I hope that was helpful. If you are new here, I'm Fairy Goddess Cody. Nice to meet you. Hey, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with someone that you may think may find it useful or it can be helpful. I'm just like fumbling over words, but definitely send it to someone, because it can definitely be useful or helpful for them if it was useful and helpful for you. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.